Hello and welcome. It looks like my internet connection is a little bit shaky today, so bear with me while I try to prioritize my computer on the network because apparently that's what you're going to do these days. Switch over to a new provider and it just gets a little bit crap. How are we all? Are we ready for some code stuff? Today we are going to be working with Nuxt. Now, if you haven't used Nuxt, then why not? It's amazing. It's absolutely fantastic. Let me get a light on in here. Oh, no, that's not connecting. Okay, I'll fix that later. Yeah, I'm just going to crack on. So, let's stick myself down in a corner like this. So, what are we doing? So, I've got my current website, which is this one. Slow. Look at that image load slowly. Fantastic. And yeah, it works. It's it's a website. It's got stuff on it. I can go read articles. I can go view lots of testimonials. I can come to my users page, work stuff about me, talks. I can do everything that you might want to do on a website, right? Basic website built with Astro, and it's got Tailwind and I think Svelte I'm using on this one. But I want it to be more. I want to kind of take it to that next level where juststeveking.com website is, more than just a blog. So I'm going to be rebuilding it with Nuxt. And I'm also going to have a Laravel API a little bit later on. That's going to kind of enhance it. So the idea is that I've got this Nuxt website going on down here. I just need to get it configured. So I'm going to be keeping my content using Nuxt content. So all of the articles and all of that sort of stuff is still going to be served in a very similar sort of way. The main difference here is that things might be a little bit different. So if I just grab this and we can drop that in there, how's the view? Let's just view appearance and we are going to zoom in. Let's drop that down. It should be a bit easier to read. There we go. But what we're also going to want to include, as well as those, is Z. Then we want to export a default defined content config, like so. And then we are going to have our collections like this. So you can call them posts, you can call them blog. I like to call them articles. I just always have, we can define a collection. And what we need within there is a type and a source. So the type is going to be content. The source is going to be articles./star. And then the schema should be schema, right? Not all of that, not all of that. Configuration. Let's go to configuration. Okay, I'll have a look at that in a minute. So the schema is going to be an object of some description, right? Why has that got a squiggle? Oh, wait. Page. There we go. So it's relatively basic sort of stuff, right? But what I'm going to have is I'm going to have a const article schema up the top, which is going to be a Z object again, because I'm going to have articles as well as series. Oh, you're doing your first ever stream. Congratulations. That's exciting. I am using StreamYard. There we go. You can use that. You get a certain amount of free credits and discount. Kind of handy if you want to use it. So an article is going to have a title, right? Articles have titles. And what I will do is I'm going to go here, create a new folder, content, articles, like that. And I'm going to create a test article while I'm here. Test.md. So we'll have a title. So this will be like a test article title. And what we'll do is we'll split this across the screen like that so we can see it. And instead of that, we're going to have the article schema to start with. So we need a description, right? Now, descriptions, if you're going to follow SEO sort of stuff, you're going to want to set that to like a max of 160 because that is the character limit for a meta description. So we can say a description. This is the description for the test article. Simples. We're going to want some sort of date. When was this published? So pub date z.coerce.date, like so. So then we can come down, we can say, okay, the pub date is format date, and we're going to paste into active app. There we go. It's a really handy little raycast feature, by the way, just format date. So 2nd September or 1 to, just pretty handy stuff. Okay, so we've got a publish date. I'm going to do an enum for the category. So we're going to have things such as it's an article, it's a package, it's a tutorial, could be news, some sort of release, an event, an announcement. Yeah, just this is something I'll probably tweak later on once I kind of put some real thought into it. Let's just make sure. There we go. We can see all of those. So what we can do then is category. We are going to say that this is just an article. That's spelled wrong. There we go. We've got category. Then we've got tags. Like so. So then we can say tags, test, article, like that. Nice and simple. Then what we'll probably do is like an image. And what I like to do is define this outside of here as well. So image schema, we have a Z object. So we're going to have a source, is a string. The alt is not optional. The width and the height. So then we can, for the image, we can say image schema, like so. So then over here, we can say that our image, our source is, I'm just going to use github.com, just steveking.png. The alt is Steve. The height is 300, and the width is also 300, like so. There's a somewhat simple sort of setup right there, right? What more could we need? If I stick with that, and now we can run pm dev, hopefully things will now be working. Can't find the bindings for something. cannot locate bindings. Okay, so I think that's a common issue. Locate tools, locate your SQLite database. So why don't I npx nuxt dev, see what that does. Okay, so it's complaining about the SQLite stuff. I think that might be something to do with the order that this is loading. Let's try again. Let's PNPM update it. How are we all doing today anyway? Are we good? Are we ready for some Nuxt? I've been using Viewer Nuxt for so long. It's to me internet. Come on, you can do it. You can do it, internet. No, go figure. I am good, Benjamin. Thank you. How are you? I wonder, can I? There's audio stuff that I can do. What can I put on? Is this going to work? I can loop music in the background, which is kind of handy. Let's try a different one. Try and find something a little bit less. There we go, that'll do. Bit loud, is it? No problemo. That should be a little bit better. There we go. So if I run, see, I would have expected there to be things to need at this point. Let me go have a look. Contents. Data, contents.sqlite. Oh, wrong one. Data, contents. So maybe this is the problem. That is not being automatically generated. This could be it. Woo. I love that on the Nuxt page, don't you? Okay, so we're still having issues. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to force a reinstall on PNPM, add that. All else fails, delete it and start again, right? Ooh. Okay. Yeah. Okay, we'll restart that. What we're going to do is we're going to grab this. We're going to collapse it. We're going to come back to warp. And we're going to rm-rf www.juststeveking.com. And we're going to do it differently. I literally created this a few minutes ago. Go figure, right? Right, okay, so npm create Nuxt latest and www.juststeveking.com. We can use PNPM. Doesn't provide a package manager, no problem. Yeah, that's what I'm. It's usually not really a big deal, but you know, I just want to get this set up at the end of the day, right? It should be simple, this sort of stuff. This should just work. Why doesn't it just work? Let me just open that so I can get my light on. There we go. A little bit of daylight. Let's just dim it a little bit so I'm not like. There we go. There we go. Oh, got there. Things are slow. This is the biggest problem with Welsh Wi-Fi, right? Just slow. We recently switched to Virgin Media, which was meant to like massively improve it, but you know the walls in our house are like mega thick, so getting Wi-Fi around it, we've got the Nest Wi-Fi mesh network all set up, so you know it's all bouncing around the place, but it's still difficult. Oh, the amount you pay just to get a half reasonable internet, and then you can't even stream properly or download your NPM modules. I mean, the NPM modules aren't that surprising, really. They are quite huge. But yeah, we're also going to use Nuxt UI, which I don't know if you've used before, but it is so nice to use, so easy to use. You know, you've got an app component, which is just a wrapper around your app at the end of the day. You've got blog posts, banners, and obviously there's a pro side. It's basically just a wrapper, and you can pass some stuff to it. You can pass a toaster, and like there's so much you can do. We're getting somewhere. They're creating these new ones as well. These chat prompts and chat palettes, and no, so the internet comes in at the front of the house, and I've got like one living area, another living area, a kitchen, and then my office. So I'm like right at the back of the house. It's a good like 50 meters away or so. It's like a really long, thin house. But like, how cool is this that you can get something like this and just go boop? Awesome. Nuxt UI, 100% you should use it if you can. Here we go. We've got approved builds now. And what I'm going to do is... Ooh, what did I do wrong? Oh. Let's just open that up and see what happens. Let's kill that terminal, open up a new one. Right, okay, so we've got pnpm post install, because I didn't get to run that. Type generated, perfect. So pnpm approve builds. Yes, we're getting somewhere. We are getting somewhere. So what I'm going to do quickly is click that content.config.ts. Okay, I lost everything that I'd done. Lost it all. Is it? I can't even do any sort of anything with this file. Damn it! Damn it! Okay, so what we need to do instead is come back. We are going to start with this. pnpm add Nuxt UI Pro. It only actually asks you for your license when you're building it for deployment. So while that's installing, I'm going to come over to here for the installation on this. And what we would do is come to our Nuxt config. And what you'll notice is currently I'm in like a Nuxt 3 mode, basically, which is okay. But when you're building a new website, you should really try to go for like the Nuxt 4 approach if you can. I'm going to ignore that one this time while I do this, because then I'm going to have more things to add to the approved builds, which is a Tailwind Oxide, Vue Demi, so many things, right? Get these installed. What I'll do is I'm going to create a new folder. We're going to create the content articles like that. We're going to have a test.md in here. Test article, We have that description again of this. Okay, we'll just default that one. Here we go. So now we can PNPM approve builds. See, there should be more than that. There should also be Tailwind Oxide. And you get me. There we go. Let's just do that. We'll do it that way. All right, so then we can say npx code mod at latest Nuxt for migration recipe. Really handy little CLI tool that you can use to migrate a Nuxt app to the new folder structure. And it will just go do all of its magic. It's got all of its config. It knows what it needs to do. And you'll see it's moving stuff around. I'll end up with an app folder with all of the stuff in there that needs to be in there, and it's good. Right, PNPM dev. So now if we come back to localhost, watch the spotlight move around while we wait for it to do its thing. No complaints so far. Sounding good. While we wait, we can say, okay, so the pub date is that the category is news or article for now. The tags, test, article, random tags. The image source can be that. Alt, test image, height 300, width is 300. Author is another one that they seem to like. Here we go. We've got our Nuxt app up and running, people. It shouldn't have been that much of a pain, but it was that much of a pain. Okay, so author name is, we just go to Steve Google. Now, I'm going to walk through what I need here. So if I come to Nuxt UI Pro and come down to the, I think, is it avatar? Or no, blog post. Here we go. Blog post and props. Authors is a user prop, and a user needs a name, description, avatar. So we've got a name, avatar, and I usually use my GitHub one, to be honest, because it's just so much easier just to do that than to upload a file, right? We've got a name, an avatar. You can add like a description if you want to. Let's do that. Chip size orientation. You can add a link, so you can add like a 2. And we'll just do like a just steveking.link/x. There we go. That is roughly what I'm going to want for each one. Got description, published, categories, tags, image, and an author. Now, I absolutely love Nuxt. Nuxt is fantastic. So there we go. We've got that set up there. So let's come back to our Nuxt content. I think we might need to add the module. So let's come to our Nuxt config. We also need to say that our future compatibility version is 4. Now, I'm really, really picky when it comes to this. It needs to be alphabetical. It's just me. Modules. So we're going to have Nuxt content. Is it Nuxt content? Yeah, at Nuxt content. Then we're going to have at Nuxt UI Pro, I think. Configuration, blah, blah. Yeah, I'm not bothered right now. That's fine. Was there anything else? That was it. Nuxt content and Nuxt UI Pro. that is all good. So what I then need is app, assets, CSS. Then we need our main.css. So in our Nuxt config, we need to add CSS. So CSS, we can say that. Then within here, we need to do Tailwind. So to do installation, we've done that. We need to run that basically. And there we go. We should now have Tailwind and all of the good stuff installed and ready to go, which means we can come over to our content module and we can just grab this. Make sure to also pull in Z, which is like a Zod sort of proxy. And we say const image schema is a Z.object, which is going to have a source of Z3. Why do I always do that? Z.string, alt, which is a Z string, height, which is a Z number, dot null, and then same with that. And then we'll say const article schema is a Z object. We've got a title of that, description, we've got an image, we've got pub date, z.date, and what we want is that over there a minute. Make some space. Okay, so we've got title, description, publish date. Let's move that down. So pub date. Then we've got a category, which is a z.enum. And we're going to start with just article in there. And we'll fill that out properly later. Then we've got tags. Then we've got image. Then we've got author, which is a Z object. But to be honest, we're probably going to need an author for series as well. So we're going to say const author schema. So we're going to have a name, a string. We are going to have a description, which is optional. An avatar, Z string, and a to, which is a Z string.url. Like so. So then the author can just be the author schema. Like so. So then finally what we can do is basically this. Collections, articles, and we're going to have articles, whatever. Schema is article schema. Right, that should in theory work. Can't resolve Tailwind CSS in that plugin, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so we go to tailwindcss.com and we'll go to the framework guides. Framework guides, come over to Nuxt. We need to make sure we install this stuff. pnpm add that. Then we're going to need this Vite plugin as well. So over to our Nuxt config, we're going to need Vite plugin Tailwind CSS stuffies. And grab that, make sure that that is imported. And now we can pnpm dev it again. So close off that article. come over to here, and hopefully no errors should occur at this point. I hope. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. Here we go. Here we go. Things are kicking in. So we've got 2 collections and 1 file. Compatibility version 4. All of the stuff has been generated. It's all good. I've noticed I've always got this issue running Nuxt and using Arc. This is kind of like delay between the two. Greet client warmed up. Okay, fantastic. Now please work. Got a problem. See, I don't know why that's always happening. Because it does do that. Oh, is it because it's Tailwind CSS as default, or you need to import it differently? I'm not sure. I'll follow the instructions and leave it. So there we go. We've got Nuxt up and running again. So what we've got so far is a Nuxt app with Nuxt content and Nuxt UI all ready to go. And here is our very basic app so far. Now, what we're going to want is we are going to want components. We are also going to have layouts, as well as pages and composables. Now, layouts, we're going to create a default layout. We have a template is that. Then we've got a div like that. And with this layout, what we're going to do, we're going to Nuxt loading indicator. Then for those using, so with Nuxt, if you're using like a screen reader, you've got like the root announcer, I think it's called. There we go. Yeah. Announcer. And then we've got a slot. So what I'll probably do is wrap that in another div, and we'll figure it all out in a little bit. So there's all that. So then this is going to have a div, and we're going to have a Nuxt layout followed by a Nuxt page, like so. So you with me? You with me? Perfect. So pages, we're going to need an index.view within here. So to start with, we're just going to have a h1. Welcome to Nuxt. Reload that. Welcome to Nuxt. It's up. It's all the way up there. You can't see it. Okay, so we're going to class text AXL. There we go. Welcome to Nuxt. So it's loading. It's working. So what we want is we want to be able to get content, right? Kind of the point of this. So we're going to want to be able to get X amount of articles. So we're going to have something like const data articles equals await use async data. We're going to have articles within there. And then this is going to have some sort of query within here, where we're going to query. Okay, maybe I'll just inline this bit. Query collection, articles, all like that. Welcome to Nuxt. Awesome. And then underneath, we're just going to do a quick UL, an LI, where we do a quick v4 article index in articles, and the key is going to be the article.path. Here we go, let's do something like that. Here you go, test article. We've got something. Whee! It doesn't actually go away yet because it's just 404. Cool. So we've got something. So what I'll do is I'll just make this a key tag. Where the class is text for Excel. There we go. So we've got welcome to Nuxt and the test article. Excellent. So what do we actually want to do on this page? Well, we've got Nuxt UI, so we can do something like a U page heading where the title is welcome to Nuxt and the description is this is a simple website. There we go. Is that going to work? Cannot string of 5 function. Yeah, I don't care about that. Let's just leave that. Oh, that's maybe the wrong component. So let's go down to page, header. View page header. Like so. And then this is up there. Awesome. And what you can actually do is if we just take all of this, we can say, okay, we want the whole thing to be in a container, right? U container, done. In a container. And then if we go to like the default layout, what you can do is view page, and up here we can say I think it's navigation or something. Let's come back. It's something like that. But we can go get that all sorted. So if we come over to here, we've got a page hero, page columns, navigation menu. That's what we wanted. Navigation menu. Now that might fail, might not. We'll find out. Reload. Okay, so the navigation menu there, what it needs is like this. So we need to kind of pull it in, basically. Examples with tooltips and items, control active item, with content slot, so you can get all of that stuff. Color mode stuff, chat palettes, breadcrumbs, cards, content navigation, content search, dashboard nav bar, which is kind of cool, dashboard sidebar, footer, header. Here we go, you can just use a header like that. Navigation menu items. So this is what we're looking to add, something like this. So if I just grab this for the layout, and what we'll do is script setup lang TypeScript. Got that in there. So we've got navigation menu item. Then we want to get the current route. We get the current route, and then we can say, okay, these are all of the items here. These are menu items. And then navigation menu and items. Come back here and it should be up the top. So what we want to do is kind of maybe drop that in there. That's not what I want it to look like. U header. Let's just drop the U header in there. Maybe that is what I'm after. Outside the U page. Let's just do that. Let's see how it looks. We can then customize it. Okay, so that's erroring for X reason. But it's getting 404s. 404s. Okay. We're just gonna make them all / like so. Tooltip provider. Urgh. Okay. What's this tooltip? I'm not too bothered about having a tooltip on that, to be honest. Here we go. Docs, components, roadmap, Figma releases, and then template right. There we go. Obviously, we can build this slightly differently as required. Is logo, apparently. If we get rid of that, I think it just defaults. There we go, Nuxt UI Pro. So we've got all of that, and if we obviously collapse that, it should give us a menu. It's not good. There it is, over there. So it will give us a menu as well, which we can work with in a little bit. So a header has got all of this stuff in it. Then there's that page slot, and you can also put I don't know what that actually looks like, so we'll find out. Footer. You can do navigation menu stuff. Here we go. Let's use that. Footer. Template stuff. Copyright, new date, get full year. Come back over here, and there we go. Copyright, blah, blah, blah. Cool. We've got structure. We've got stuff. So next up, what do we want to do? Inside index over here. Instead of that, what you can use a U section, which can have a title, latest articles, and it can also have like a description, which would be, this is the description. And then this would then have a U blog posts. U blog post. Then we can do a V4 article in articles. We're going to key it by the article.path for now. Right. So let's come over and have a look at the props for a blog post. So as article, let's see what happens if we just kind of find it like so. Let's see. Nothing. Okay, so what we're going to need to do is we can say that the title is article title, description is article description, image, date, and authors is article.author. So now we're getting some errors. Let's restart that server there and see what is going on. So v4 article, blah 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 blah. You can also, I believe there's like a 2 is article.path like that as well. There we go. Here we go. We got something. The image isn't working, which is fine. It's complaining about something. Expected object got string. Okay, so the author's avatar needs to be different. I think this needs to be like the image schema. So if we come back to that and content there, avatar, source that alt Steve McDougall, height 100, width 100, like that. Let's see if that's going to work. Loading. Moment of truth. Ta-da! We got something. So let's just kind of update this image here to be, I don't know, random image URL. Go and pick some, that'll do. Just going to grab that one. And we're just going to go like that. And we've got 300 by 300. There we go. Boom. Let's make it square. There we go. So we got an article, and if you click on it, you'd go root to it, blah, blah, blah. All cool stuff. So got a nice cool little zoom in effect on it. You can root to it, and what you can do is, if I come back over quickly, actually, you've got different variants, but you can also do like a badge. So down here, what we'd do is like the badge, and then for badge you want color and variant, but also label. So the label is going to be the article.category, like that. I'll keep variant standard to start with. So there we go. We got an article, got the date. Now, if we change the date to like today's date, for example, date format, and just quickly paste into the active app. And there you go, May the 13th. So we got some stuff, we've got a little bit of information, and if you click on that, it will kind of redirect. But what you want it to do is I'm pretty sure the 2 you can, let me just kind of hide those. Where's the author? You can do the target blank. So we can say target blank, like so. And click, opens it up in a new tab, all good to go. Fantastic. So we're getting there. The other things that you could add to it are like a chip. You could add like something to it. You go to size, target, add specific UI stuff. As is by default going to render as a div. You could say render this as a UL, LI, whatever it might be. And we've got this is the main content of the test article. There we go. So next up, close all of those. In pages, we can then go articles. Within here, we can say slug.view, script setup lang, yes, yes, and then template div. What we're going to do is const data page, and we are going to say await use async data, and we're going to call this there's a way to do this that's a little bit nicer. Nuxt content query collection. You've got to get the root like so. Use the async data. I'm going to pass through the root path. So the async data, doing it this way basically means that you can, you're basically caching based on the path. So it's not going to relook it up if you're going to go forwards and back. Then, okay, let's just grab that like so. And we want to query the collection of articles, getting the first one. If there is no page, then we want to return a create error, and we'll just do status message. Oops, we can't find that page. So then if we come over to here, click on this, ignore that. I don't know what's going on. Illegal return. Okay. That'll be it. Okay, so instead of that, what we will do is just that and that. Test article. Why are we getting an error? It's not going anywhere. Okay, console. Clear that. Click. Clickety click, click, clickety click, click, click. Okay, that's not doing what I wanted to do. So let's just go back and have a look. Blah, blah, blah. Comes page. And then we can do like if there is a page, then we can do like I think there's like a hero or something. I don't know. We'll see. Ta-da. Use async. That probably is the problem. Oops, we can't find that page. Cool. Go back home. Clear all that. Click it. What's going to happen? Okay. Well, we should be able to find it in theory. Root path first. Articles and tests. Let's come over to our dev tools quickly. Articles test. So we have actually got one It is loaded. It is working fine. It should be all good. Path articles test. Okay, so it's found it. So that should be fine. Don't know what's going on there. So let's instead come over and have a look at the hero component. Page hero, that's the one. Page hero. So you page hero. Refresh. What's that going to give us? Absolutely nothing. Cool. We're getting somewhere. So the VIF page, is that actually working? That's probably going to cause an issue too. There we go. Typos, typos, typos. It's always typos. So we got a test article. This is a test article, blah, blah, blah. Page hero has certain props. So what we can actually do is title, description, all that sort of stuff. Like so. And then we can say add a headline. So like the headline is page.category, like that. You add links to it if you want to. Then you can drop an image on the inside, which is then going to drop that image to the side. So if we just drop this one in there for now and have a look at how that looks. Boom, there we go. So what we can do instead is do that and then link that and say page.image.source page image alt. At the minute, it's a little bit crap, right? So there's a better way to do this, but that'll do for now, just so that it's actually in there. And then there's a way to render the content that I can never remember. Content renderer, there we go. Only works with markdown files. So what you want to do is content renderer. So underneath that, you can say U container content renderer. If there's a page, I mean, we don't need that part. And there we go. This is the main content of the article. And what you could do, you could start to like really build this up quite nicely. So I could add like a bar at the top that's got some information about it. There's, I'm pretty sure I saw a way to do it in here. Page columns. That's quite cool. User, like you can add user information. If you come and have a look at Pro and templates quickly, there's this portfolio, which is quite nice. I don't know if I'd use it, but it's quite nice. So go read that article. So you see at the top, it's got that. It's got all of this kind of formatting. What I would probably do is go look at the Nuxt template like this and go see how they formatted it. So app, pages, blog. Oh, it needs a ... for the slug, does it? That could cause issues. Rename. Might help. Okay, so if there's a page, view main, Nuxt image, page. Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to grab all of that and see how it looks. See what's broken. Let's just grab all of that and just drop that in. Probably going to complain about something. Oh yeah, install the Nuxt image. Do it. Articles, icon. Ooh, I need the PNPM approved builds. PNPM approved builds. Running the install script. Let's swap the music for a minute. Right, so that's got page date, but what we want is page update. Update. Got minutes read, which we don't have. Image.source. Image.alt. Title, description, author, cool, page body, article link, copy to clipboard. Okay, there's some cool stuff going on. Let's go see what happens. It's got the article link. Don't think that's needed, but we're going to add it. Add that computed stuff. Format date. We'll add that in there too. To local date string. It's got use SEO stuff. That's all cool. Right. So now let's go and have a look to see what this looks like. We got an error, but error was expected because I've installed a new module. Collection Lucid not found locally. Okay, so PNPM add -. There we go. Let's get that in there. It's always typos is like how I code, right? And this is my version of vibe coding. It's gonna work in some way or other. So now if I refresh that, we should be going in the right direction. Let's go have a drink while I wait for that. Nice, nice, nice. There's all sorts of cool stuff that I could do with this. There we go, look. And suddenly it's a little bit nicer. So copy link. No, that's not doing it. Okay, so how did they do the copy link? Got the surround. Click copy to clipboard. I'm assuming that is a composable of some description. Navigation, breadcrumb, defining stuff. That must be something that they've got installed. Or in here, clipboard.ts. Let's just grab that. So if we go utils, clipboard.ts, put that in. In theory, that should just work because that's what happens with Nuxt. Right, wait for it to reload. Definitely think there's some styling tweaks that I'd do on this, but the overall structure is where I'd look to do it. So wait for all of that to do its thing. Not too bothered about that. Symbol stuff. Okay, that's not important. Copy link. It did actually do it. I didn't get the toast to come up, so maybe that's something that I need to add to the overall layout. So layouts default. Is there like a toast area? Slot at footer. Pages. Slug. I'm not seeing anywhere that the toast would go. But hey ho. That is that. What's links do? Yeah, not important right now. Although that would be super handy to have in one place. So I'm going to grab that, and we are going to say utils links.ts. I'm just going to drop that in, and we will be using those nav links. Can't find module UI. Okay, so we also need to say pnpm add at Nuxt UI, the default one as well as a pro one. So then our layout default over here. What we want to do is import nav links from utils links and drop those off, all those items and the root stuff, and then we can just drop in the nav links, hopefully. The npm dev. I like having that central management going on here. Let's see. Favicon, service unavailable. It's all dying. It's all dying around me. This is what happens when I write JavaScript, right? Things just break. Server icon stuff. To the home page and see what it does. This would be articles. Okay, lots of things are changing. That's all fine. Composables we'll probably add later. Components, we don't need any yet. So I'm going to add a keep in there because they are going to be needed later on. Here we go. Projects, articles, speaking about. It's all being pulled in now. So now I can come click. Getting a little error, but that's not a big deal. So there we go. We've got test article. Here's like me. There's a content. Copying that. We don't need that anymore. Right, okay. So back to here. I don't know where that .well-known app specific stuff is coming from. Not really seeing it. So content surround. I don't think there is any content to surround it. I believe that's just a thing that comes out of the box. So let's just grab those. Tell you what, let's just grab the whole thing, and we're just going to use that. Article link page author, description, title, image, dot source, page image dot alt, min red, and then we got update, updates, blog, articles, come back to articles, it says page. Okay, let's see what's going on. Go back home. Ooh, not found. Okay, that is because we are going to be looking in the wrong place. Articles. Wait for that to reload. Computer navigation. Articles. Map content navigation. Define OG image. Define OG image. Okay, so there's a Nuxt module that we can use for this. So if we come over to modules, install a new module. Modules, and let's install a new one. And we're going to look for the OG image one, this one. Let's just install that one. I'm just going to watch this because this will do its magic. Come back to links a second. We are going to just get rid of some errors. There we go. Installing the OG image. Now the OG image is actually really helpful. Awesome, it worked. Nuxt config updated. Let's go have a look so we can walk through what it actually does. Now, I haven't even started looking at the talking to the Laravel part, but my plan here is to use the like the back end for front end approach, where I'm going to have a Nuxt API that is going to proxy everything through to the Laravel API, because then I can cache what I need to on the Laravel side and maintain its own cache over here. But then at the same time, Nuxt content is also going to, I think I might not need v ... I don't think I do, but we'll find out. Path.split is not a function. I don't know where that is coming from. Path.split. Yeah, I'm not seeing that either. Okay. Not too bothered about all of that. Oh, it's on the OG image. Okay, so URL. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're just going to ignore all of that, and we're going to define OG image like so. And we're going to go to the blog, and then we're going to have the title is page.value.title. Description is page.value.description. Ooh. Cannot find property emojis on string blog. Okay, so Nuxt OG image module. Here we go. Need the full documentation down here. What I would do is I'm going to rename this. And then what we'll do, that's going to do all of that stuff. you're going to need some site config set up. Nuxt config. We're going to add that here. Just format that. So, next steps, getting familiar, blah, blah, blah. First OG image. Okay, so define OG image component Nuxt SEO. Let's just step through this bit quickly. SEO meta stuff. Then if we come back to here. I hate that it's got a squiggle under it. It's always bothered me. Here we go. So now if we refresh DevTools and we come down to the OG image. Test article. This is a test article. Awesome. And what you can do, you can start to pass in additional stuff. Where is it? Where is it? And here we go. So viewing your image, blah, blah, customizing it. So you can say title, description, theme, and color mode. So I'm just going to grab that. And we're going to step through it. Come back to here. Let's go reload. Here's what it would look like on Twitter. There we go. So what we can do is swap this to be page.value.title and page.value.description. You can choose a theme. Instead of choosing a theme, what I would probably do here is you can use a default Nuxt one. Creating your own template. Components. And then OG image. And then you create one, you could call it blog post, for example. And I'm just going to do this. Blog post dot view. Put that in there. Then we can swap this for blog post. Using the new template, customizing the template to find some props on it, add some border colors. Yeah, there's so much you can do. Like, how cool is that? Let's get the title, and then we can just say swap this for a description. There we go. This is a test article. So there's a lot you can do, right? That's why I wanted to use Nuxt, because it's just so many tools. I don't get this so easily in Laravel. Now, Laravel and inertia, I just don't get this. And that's why I wanted to use it. So now I can just like reformat, restyle, get things, things are in place. All the SEO stuff's in place. Formatting dates, numeric short, like just so much easier. Go back, you link, you icon, shift on left, flex center, gap 1. Like minutes read, like it doesn't. I'm not going to have that by default. So what I'm probably going to do is create a composable or a utility for that one. Yeah. So it's just really nice. Like I can have like an API route in here and do something with that one, and it's just all just so smooth, right? I'm getting the best developer experience for the front end that I can, and then I'm getting the best developer experience for the API for that kind of engagement aspect that I'm looking for. Like, if I was just going to rebuild my website like for like, I'd stick with Nuxt or Astro. But I want to take it to that next level, so I need that API so that people can log in and they can engage with it, they can bookmark, come back to it, that sort of stuff. Right, next up. So not only do I want articles, but I also want series. So I'm going to have a series. So define a collection. Type in page, source, series, like that. Schema is going to be a article schema. It's kind of the same thing, but there's like multiple of them. So now I need to just go new folder, series. And my idea here is that I'm going to have like a series such as test series. And it would just be like index.md, title, test series, description, test series, updates. I'm gonna have all of the usual things in there. So if I just come over to here and just kind of grab all of that and just update what I need to. So test series, this is a test series, category series. So over here, we can have article as well as a series. Just leave it at that. This is new test series. What I want to do, I want to be able to add another, part2.md, where, part 2, like that, and it's the next part of that series. I don't know how well it's going to work. Hopefully it'll work well. Who knows? But what I will do for now is there's the articles, series collection, series test series part 2. I don't know what's complaining now. Something's complaining. Yeah, not a big deal. I'll worry about that in a minute. So inside app, pages, articles, what I'm going to have is a series, and I feel like I need the dot slug here. I'm not 100% sure. So I feel like I need to be able to just split it out a little bit more, because I mean some kind of content that I write it can get quite big, And do you want to spend 15 minutes reading or 20 minutes reading an article? Or do you want to go, okay, I've got 5 minutes, I'm going to read part 1, next part 2, next part 3, and just come back to it? So if we get like series, test series, like that. What did I call it? In content series, test series. Okay, so cool. So const root is use root. You can say get the data, your page as await, use async data, root.path, query collection, queries, path, root.path, all. And the console.log page here. A second. Let's just see what's going on. So we've got a ref implementation, we've got a value. So we're going to go page.value. So we've got this series, body, image, stem, tags, length. So this is a test series index. Now I'm wondering if there's a way to do this nicely where I can actually get multiple files for it. There's got to be, right? It makes sense. I might not want to match that actually. I'm not going to match the path. That's the problem, I think. I'm trying to match path when I don't actually need to match the path. So I don't know. Is there a... I don't want to do that. The query collection. There's got to be a nice way to query the collection. Item surrounds. No, query collection. Okay, so we can get the path, select field, where or where order limits, skip all first count examples. So order by, select and all. That kind of works, but you know, getting the root params. What's console.log? What's root got that we can use? There's got to be something on like the router that I can actually grab, right? Right, proxy object, full path. Okay, cool. Path params slug. Okay. Where? Let's go to see how the where works properly, shall we? Where fields. You could do something like where path. Like root.path. I wonder if that will bring back all of them within that folder. That's what I'm looking for, right? No, it looks like we're just getting one again. Okay, that might be something that I've got to dig into a little bit more. But hey, not a big deal. I know what I need to look into. There we go. Okay, next thing. We got this. We got that stuff. We got all the stuff. Now, I can give you an article. That sort of thing's fine. I'm going to look at series as... I quite like that, but I'm not sure if it's something I want to use. Like landing page hero, is that one of the custom components? Landing. Yeah, it is. Okay. Ooh, motion. Using view motion. That's kind of cool. I don't know what to do. What should I do? I don't think there's much I need right now. I'm just making a lot of stuff up. I probably need this app config. The app.config.ts. I'm definitely going to need that. So app.config.ts, and we need to export default. And you're going to have all sorts like global UI Pro stuff, footer stuff, and then you can just kind of pull that in where needed. That's all good. Meeting link email available. I kind of like the idea of this. What I'd probably do though is that. Speaking.link /pal email speaking@proton.me available through. There we go. We got something. So now if we come to this hero here, I'm going to grab it and we're going to see what it does. So components. We can create a landing and a new hero.view. Like that, that's good. So then our thingy here, we can just do that. We'll keep the current one. Landing hero, let's see if that actually pulls it through, or if we're going to get some sort of error. Might complain about motion. I think I might need to, reading title. Okay, so page. We're not actually getting any data for page. So the way that people typically use like at Nuxt content in this case would be that they'd also have like an index.yaml file in here. So like a 0.index.yaml. Content index.yaml. I mean, you could drop the 0. And you'd have SEO stuff, title, hero, like, if I just grab all of this. And then in the content config over here, collections page index here, it's. Let's just grab that schema a second. Okay, let's just go add this. So collections, you'd have index define collection, and then what you'd have is type page, and then source, you would say index.yaml. And the schema, object, and you'd build up like these repeatable parts to it. So you'd have this hero section here. And that's got a create button schema. So you grab that. And then you'd have create base schema. Create image schema. You have all of these like kind of reusable bits. Just grab those and we'll just drop them in. About, base schema, experiences, testimonials, blog, and FAQ. Now, I'd probably just have maybe that. The hero, you'd have all this. Okay, so Gav, start that again and see what happens. So we've got the collections, it's starting to build out the data. Good, all good. Then what we will also need is on the index.view, you need to actually get that information as well. So over on this index.view, we also need to do that. And then we can pass the page stuff through. So let's go and have a look, see what's going on. Then you can if page on around that one, which would then have landing hero. Here we go. Hey, I'm Emma Thompson. So you can get stuff like this up and running really quickly. The marquee. And then all you need to do is come over here. Okay, so title, description. If we want to change the hero title, you can say, "Hey, I'm Steve," and it changes. That landing hero though, components landing hero, it's getting the footer and global stuff. So the footer, main image, initial avatar, picture dark. Like I don't need a color mode avatar. I just need like a U avatar where the source is actually grabbed. That's source. Like so, hopefully. I'm not a big fan of that. It's just a little bit too much for me. Page marquee. Let's just remove all of that rubbish. There we go. A little bit cleaner, which means that this can also remove images. So I can come over to here and remove that, which means that the create image schema currently isn't being used properly, but we'll come back to that. So there we've got an easy way to start maintaining this. We've got the page. So, hey, I'm Steve. I build shit with PHP, Laravel, and Nuxt mostly. You know, links, use this template. I'd probably switch this to the call, and then I'd go to juststeveking.link/cal, color neutral, variant, subtle. There we go. So all of this sort of stuff just works, and we're available for new project stuff. Where is it available? Not available at the moment. New clients. You know, available for new clients. Cool. There's so much you can do, and compared to like just the Laravel way of doing things, this just feels a lot more kind of. You feel much more in control. So I can get rid of that page header. It's landing hero. I could pass things through. Page index collection item. Just passing that through. Page is page. Do it that way too. Then we've got latest articles, all good. Or if you kind of follow this template, you could go, okay, let's get a page section. I've already got a page section at that point. What are we doing? Notepad on top, grid. Okay, so we're gridding it. Landing blog. So then, you know, landing blog, how are they formatting that? Container title description. Got that in there, which will then change the styles. So I think you can really quickly start to take shape, and that's just the beauty of Nuxt, right? That's all I'm doing here, using Nuxt and Nuxt modules, mainly first-party ones, to make the most out of this. Nice and simple, nice and straightforward. You can also do like a content search. Deploy to a server. Build node output. Awesome. So the query collection search sections composer will generate searchable sections from a collection for an enhanced content discovery. Example, doing that. But if we come over to our Nuxt UI, come to our components, we can actually just go for a content search. You can use a content surround. So inside of our main layout, we can actually just drop all of this in. Search item, search term, shortcut, files, navigation, limits, color modes, theme. There's just so much that you can do on this. So content search, command palette component. So you could pass an icon, use the files and navigation props with the files and navigation values you fetched from the query collection search sections. So you want to use it in a layout. So I don't know what that's. Use async data navigation, query collection navigation content, server false. Okay, so let's just grab all of that. Let's come over to our default layout. Layout default. And what we'll do is that. And somewhere we'll do this client only. Probably at the bottom here. Like so. Now, when we come here, we press Command K when it loads. Box components, roadmap. We've got links. So what I'd probably look to do at this point is go, okay, so links I'm not too bothered about. Use navigation and file search. Use content search, sections, content. Okay, so how can I configure this? Collection, the name of the defined collection in. Okay, so I'd want to search articles, for example. So that if I come to here, okay. Let's see what is going on. Here we go, articles. I can get the articles, which is cool. So that's the navigation. Files I'll ignore for now. Links we'll just get rid of because I don't think they're needed. So I will drop links. So search term, files and navigation. Got articles. So what I'm trying to get at here is there's so much you can just throw into it that it just works. Like, that's not showing up, but the files, I don't know what even the point of that is. Use async data, search sections. I really don't know. But I can get articles. But the biggest problem is, like, when you've got like lots or hundreds of articles, that's going to get quite big. So I need to have a look into this a bit more. There's definitely something that you can do. Like, if you click it, you can go to it, and you can switch to light mode, system mode. Add your navigation links within there. So nav links, we could probably say, okay, so links is nav links like so. So you can quickly switch around. So power users can just get around your website really quickly and easily. It's the point of it, right? I think for now, I'm going to call it a day on that one. I think there's a lot of thinking that I need to do around this. But here's a start of the Nuxt website. It's relatively straightforward to do. Lots of things you can do as well. I love that zoom effect when you just hover over the image. Yeah, I will call it a day there, and we will pick this up again maybe next week, maybe later this week. See how my week goes. But yeah, definitely go check out Nuxt. If you've not used it before, but you're familiar with Vue and you use Inertia, check it out because it's actually really easy to use and quite handy. I've got a blog and a basic website flown together. If this was just a blog, I could almost deploy this at this point. But hey. Anyway, yeah, stay awesome, stay sane if you can. I will check you on the flip side. Like, comment, subscribe, usual stuff. I'm going to be a bit more organized for the next one, I think, and we'll see how it goes. But hey, stay awesome. Thanks for tuning in. Take care.